Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Jess, and thank you for sticking around for the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Andrew Fillipponi. And a matter of moments over to 93.7 The Fan Cam, and we definitely have a lot to talk about, including the battle in Buccos. You could raise it tonight. They win this one 2-1. An interesting game, a pitcher's duel. I love watching games like this, and I just thought the Bucs were going to be at the wrong end of it because David Bednar scares me.
Richie, first of all, you look tan. Did you just get back from a vacation or the beach? You look, I don't know if it's the lighting or the makeup you have on, but we haven't done this in a while. You look a little different.
You know what? I was away. I was away for 2 weeks. I went to Mexico. I was in Puerto Vallarta with my wife, Kelly.
Wow.
We had a tremendous time. A place called Secrets Bahia Mita, I think it was. Tremendous time. Loved it. Hung out by the pool.
Did you journey off resort? I'm always worried about that, about getting kidnapped, taken for ransom, those kind of things.
Very good question. I was really hesitant. Kelly wanted to do it, and I finally was like, all right, on this third to last day, we went into the town of Sayulita, I think it is, and we took a taxi from the resort, and we had a wonderful time, walked around, did not feel threatened at all. It was during the day, lunch, drinks. We spent about 3 hours in the city, and went back to the resort. But, I mean, mainly I'm a resort guy. I stay on the resort, stay on the property, have a great time. It was awesome. Tremendous place, Puerto Vallarta. The only problem is the travel getting there and getting back to Pittsburgh. I mean, it's a good 12 to 14 hours each way of total travel time from your house to the place, you know. So, other than that, it was a tremendous day. I didn't get back until, I think I got back home at 2:30 in the morning. I played in a great golf event. I emceed the Frank Calandra Foundation golf outing at Longview Club, excuse me. I should know that, right? Bob was doing his golf outing at Chartiers, so neither one of us were here yesterday, but I'm back today. Bob has the week off.
Well, I got Josh. I don't think Josh loved some of my Mike Tomlin opinions, but that's okay. We can disagree on the show sometimes. Look, tonight's game, could it be a turning point for the Pirates? I sure hope so. These are the types of games in St. Louis they've lost for a million years, where you're having an epic pitching performance from Paul Skenes, but you're squandering leadoff triples, leadoff doubles. Looks like you've got the game won. You're celebrating. They review it. They change the call. You've got to get one more out. You know, these are the types of heartbreaking defeats the Pirates have had to the Cardinals over the years. They triumphed, and with that, they went from 5th place all the way up to 2nd. The bottom line for me is we are all watching, and the St. Louis fans noticed the same thing tonight and appreciated it with their standing ovation. We are seeing something truly unbelievable from Paul Skenes, their #1 pick. He hasn't been out of college for even a year, Richie, and he's already at this point 5th in the NL ERA race. I truly believe that he's going to end up making the NL All-Star game. He's going to win the NL Rookie of the Year. And I don't think it's out of the question, given the guys he's already chasing. I think he could win the NL Cy Young. I think he could end up being the best pitcher in the league.
The NL Cy Young?
I do. Yes, Fernando Valenzuela did that in 1981. He was the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young Award winner for the Dodgers. If the Pirates make the playoffs, which now looks possible, you would look back at this guy getting called up as the thing that changed the outcome of their season. They have a winning record since he was called up. He hasn't officially lost a game yet. He's won 4 of his 6 starts. He was outstanding again in this game. Yeah, I mean, you've got Ranger Suarez and Zach Wheeler and the guy in Chicago, Imanaga's been outstanding. I think he's already put himself in that kind of rarefied air with the shutouts, the strikeouts, the scoreless innings. Yeah, I think there's a chance at the end of the year Paul Skenes is already looked at as the best pitcher in the National League.
You know, the problem with the Pirates right now, it's not the starting pitching. Paul Skenes, Jared Jones, they've been pretty good. And Mitch Keller even. It's been the bullpen. David Bednar, like I said, he's scary at times. Almost blew it again here today. The lack of consistent hitting. And here's my issue. I do think the Pirates have a really good, even a realistic chance at getting to the postseason, maybe getting one of those wild cards. More than likely, they're not going to win the division. But, you know, they're only half game out right now. But here's my problem. And it seems like it's going to be a problem for the Pirates. There are 10 teams fighting for 3 spots. What makes you think that the Pirates are better than are in the top 3 of those 10 teams?
Well, really, it's the starting pitching, and after that, I'm with you. You know, their hitters, many of them have underachieved this year. I would say, other than Nick Gonzalez, who's another guy, since his call-up, the team has been better. But I would say offensively, other than Gonzalez and Connor Joe, everyone else, and McCutchen, I would say too, everyone else has underachieved. It's just to what degree or what level have they underachieved. Reynolds has slightly underachieved. Hayes has underachieved big time. He has not picked up where he left off. Tellez obviously underachieved. Henry Davis had to get sent down. Jack Sawinski, same thing. These are guys that I expected more from. I thought this would not be a great lineup, but I thought it would be a decent lineup. It has not been, and they've scored more runs lately, but overall body of work for these guys still not where it needs to be to make the playoffs. They're going to have to go out and get another hitter, and they're going to have to go out and get a couple of bullpen arms, Richie, if they're going to come out of this very bunched up NL wildcard race.
You know, I want to talk more about this, but we have to take a break. Right now, the Buccos improved to 32 and 34, but their run differential is minus 22. Back in a couple minutes. All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. This is our GMC Tweet of the Night, MLB Pipeline. You can see Paul Skenes' numbers right there for today. 46 Ks and 33 innings pitched to start his big league career. Today, 6 1/3, 5 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, 8 Ks. And, you know, some of his Ks, if you saw there on that video that we showed, Pony, and I mean, you watched the game here tonight, some of those Ks end with a wicked off-speed pitch. I mean, he seems to have all the pitches needed to be a big-time pitcher. This is a guy that I think everyone knows is going to be great.
He already leads the major leagues in pitches over 100 miles per hour, and he was at AAA for the first month of the year, and he has that number by double the second-place pitcher. Okay, so he's blowing guys away. It's also the splinker that he's added to his repertoire since being drafted last year, and it's been completely nasty and almost unhittable. He's got 3 A-plus pitches. So I don't know how anybody hits this guy. It's a miracle when he gives up runs and looks mortal. This is the very beginning. You know, you keep your fingers crossed and, you know, pray at night that he doesn't get hurt, has no Tommy John, elbow, shoulder. You know, we've seen obviously that derail great careers, but for right now, you know, I just feel like Pittsburgh sports fans, if you are angry at the Pirates for whatever they've done in the past to turn you off, don't let that prevent you or keep you from watching Paul Skenes, because he really is, for my money, you've got Sidney Crosby and TJ Watt, and I think he's already on that list of the athletes in this town that you want to pay to see because he's that great. It's like we're watching the beginnings of a Hall of Fame career right now, Richie.
It's funny you just said that, because I was going to ask you if he's one of the 5 most popular players in Pittsburgh professional sports right now, and you just answered that right there.
Well, he's up there. I mean, who else would you want to add to that list?
I mean, could you add Minka Fitzpatrick? What about Russell Wilson? I know the NFL might be a little more popular.
The punter who replaced Presley Harvin, Cam Johnson, because he's not Presley Harvin, right? Yeah. I mean, those guys,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We got Dave out on the north side. How you doing, Dave?
They should let Carl Holman be your closer, because I think Bednar's ERA is too high to be a closer. There's no way you could be a major league closer if you're going to have a 5.6 ERA. What do you think about that?
Thanks a lot, Dave. I appreciate it. Hey, Pony, is David Bednar going to be the closer 2 months from now?
I think yes. I mean, he got off to a rotten start. He had that lat injury. I don't think the Pirates handled that the best coming out of spring training. They probably should have rested him and allowed him to start his season later, send him on a rehab assignment, let him take his time with that injury. They rushed him. And I think that we saw the aftermath of that, the ill effects of that. I think tonight it was wobbly. He did give up the home run. But overall, he's been much better in his last, 10 appearances. So, yeah, I mean, I don't trust him like I did last year, but I do think he deserves some benefit of the doubt, and I think he is rounding into form. Yeah, his ERA stinks, but with relievers, if you have a couple of bad outings, it blows up. So Holderman has been good since he came back from being sick at the beginning of the year. Chapman is a complete wild card. Some days he's throwing 104, other days he can't throw a strike. But yeah, I mean, I've warmed to the idea that Bednar should be the Pirates' closer right now, although I don't have complete faith in him yet.
Yeah, I think the one thing with Bednar, he makes me uneasy if he gets into trouble early in innings in the ninth. And, if he can get the first couple guys or the first guy, I think he, feels a little more comfortable. I think that's with any position maybe. Once you feel in a groove or feel at ease, it's a little bit easier.
They got to do better with the middle innings, the middle relievers. Hunter Stratton. What happened to the other Stratton? I liked him better. Chris Stratton. I don't know where he went. They traded him a few years ago. I think Stratton's not very good. He's up and down. Some of these other guys, Brule, who they just picked up. Ortiz has had his moments, but he's usually just using mop-up duty. Might be time to give him a chance in higher pressure situations. They let Contreras walk to L.A. I didn't understand that, why they gave up on an arm like that, 24 years old. I think they're going to regret that. So it's the bridge between the starter and the back end of the bullpen. I think Kyle Nicholas, Carmen Majinski, those guys have not pitched well. They got to find those dudes, the middle inning guys, to fill out this bullpen.
Especially, you mentioned Contreras, especially a guy that they had such high hopes for just a few years ago. Let's go out to Don in Pittsburgh. How you doing, Don? Don, you there? Yep.
Yes.
Hi,
hey,
Don.
How you doing, guys?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hello,
yes,
Don.
Hi.
Hi.
I got a quick question for you.
Okay, Don.
Yeah, I'm right here. I got a quick question for you. Yeah, hello.
Don, go ahead.
Don.
Ask your question.
Yeah, my question is, guys, I hear this all the time, and you guys are the experts. Can the sporting authority or the county or the city put more pressure on Nutting to spend more money for the team?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so. He's a business owner. It's his business. He can run it the way he wants to. I mean, he's definitely doing the fans a disservice if he doesn't do anything after this year, if he doesn't start putting money into this team and maybe spending money in free agency. And, look, time and time again, this is a Major League Baseball problem. There needs to be a salary floor. It just has to happen.
Well, let's see what happens in the next couple of months as far as them trying to bolster this team, because where they are now and with the starting pitching they have, they should do it. Because the name of the game is short series. We saw the Nationals win a World Series with 3 elite starting pitchers, including Steven Strasburg, who we know that Paul Skenes has been compared to as far as phenoms go. And they just used those 3 starters with maybe 1 or 2 bullpen guys, and they won best of 5 and best of 7 series because their starting pitching was so elite. And that was after they lost Bryce Harper. It was all about pitching for them. So, you got to take advantage of that. Maybe they don't come back and topple the Brewers in the division. I don't think they will. But there's more playoff spots now, and it's not a one-game wild card anymore, Richie. It's a best-of-3 series, so it's not a coin flip anymore. And I feel good about them in a best-of-3 series against most teams with those top 3 guys, Skenes, Jones, and Keller.
If you look at it now, more than likely it would be a matchup against the Brewers, right? And all 3 games will be in Milwaukee. I don't mind Skenes, Jones, Keller as your 3 guys.
Don't mind. I love that.
Yeah,
those 3 guys.
I think they could do some damage if they can get into the postseason. Mike in Newcastle, how you doing, Mike?
Richie, how you doing tonight? Andrew, how you doing tonight?
Good,
hey,
thanks
Mike.
for calling.
Mike, you're not calling Zangrilli tonight? When's that happening? When we getting the Zangrilli call?
I actually called you guys first. I'm going to call him after.
All right, go ahead.
What I want to talk about is I think the difference definitely with Skenes tonight and him going out for that 7th inning, which no one expected. I think it gave that team the jolt it needed to truly get over the hump and finally take it to the Cardinals. Because the Cardinals, like you said, Andrew, they gave us so many bad losses over the years. It was nice to shove one up theirs for a change, because that's the one team that always got us. Even when we were contending in the mid-2010s, it just always seemed like St. Louis was able to get a game over us. And what do you guys take from my National League All-Stars? I think I agree with you, Skenes, Keller, and Holderman. What do you guys think?
I think Keller for sure. And you brought up a great point. I didn't think he was coming back in the seventh inning at all with his pitch count over 90. But he left the game with 103 pitches. Skenes potentially, right? I mean, you would have to think he's one of the most popular players right now in the majors.
Right. I actually think that Skenes coming out for the seventh inning had more of a symbolic effect than it did any real tangible effect on the game. It shows me that they're not totally beholden to pitch count and innings limit, and they really wanted to win this game, so they put him out there to see how it would go in the seventh inning. And somebody ended up getting on, and then Chapman has to get out of the inning. If Chapman had merely started the seventh inning, I don't think anyone would have complained about it, given the fact that Skenes was at 94 pitches. I just think it sends the message to everybody like, hey, we are willing to let these guys go longer in games. I thought Jared Jones should have pitched another inning Sunday against the Twins, and maybe if he had, Richie, we wouldn't have been stuck with Helen Keller or Old Yeller or Ben Heller or whatever the guy's name is in the 10th inning, giving up 7 runs. He gave up a touchdown. My goodness.
We don't have to worry about that name anymore. He get DFA'd. All right, we got to take a break. Back with to wrap things up. Coming up next, stay right there. All right, welcome back. Now it's time to bring in Ken Rice to find out what's coming up on KDKA News at 11. Ken.
Hey, Rich. Tonight, police are searching for at least 3 shooters after a violent afternoon in Uniontown. Plus, why the Heinz Endowments is suing a former employee. And how hot is it going to get this weekend? Ray's got the details, all coming up at 11, Rich.
All right, thanks a lot, Ken. See you in a couple minutes. Pony, I think this is one of our first shows we've ever done, especially on the first day of mandatory minicamps. We didn't talk about the Steelers at all. I'm headed over to the South Side tomorrow for day 2 of a mandatory minicamp. Everyone was there except for Najee Harris. Harris was excused by Tomlin.
I want to hear him talk. He has to by rule. He has not commented on not getting that 50-year option. And Arthur Smith today was talking about the running back situation. And this is the first time I've heard an offensive coordinator say, or he didn't say, that it's Najee Harris the starter and Jaylen Warren spells him. He talked more of them as equals, Richie, and guys that are on the same playing field, which gives more credence to why they did not pick up that expensive option for running backs this offseason.
Well, thanks a lot, Pony. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. I'm going to try to do my best
Richie.
to try to get Harris tomorrow. All right. See you guys on 11 o'clock news on KDK in a couple minutes.